We're looking at a 2024 Chevrolet Colorado. Complaint is water leak in the right front floor. The customer has vacuumed out a bunch of water out of the right front floor. Let's see what we have. Okay, I have done all my preliminary testing up front. I've pulled this carpet back and it is indeed damp. It's not soaking wet anymore because it's been a little bit since it rained, but it is indeed, don't know if you can see the shiny on my glove, but I mean, just take my word for it, that's damp. So that, yeah, there it is. Look at that glistening. So anyway, it's wet, and I know it was wet, and so they're correct. They probably did vacuum up some water. However, I cannot reproduce a leak from the front. Normally you would think right front floor, right front leak, you know, windshield. If you have a sunroof, this does not have a sunroof. You know, any number of things, AC drain, the door, little wiring harness there, the cowl panel. This could be any number of things, but it's not any of those. This leak is coming from the rear. Now, like so many trucks there are out there, I'll guarantee you 60% of the trucks I get that say water leak in the front floorboard, particularly the right front floorboard, end up being actually from the rear, and the customer doesn't know it. And this one is a very common leak on F-150s. It's the first time I've seen it on the Colorado, but it is indeed, this truck's got about 5,000 miles on it, and it is indeed just simply a factory goof. Let me show you what it is. All right, that little ledge you're looking at is the cabin air vent. And what that thing does is when you slam the doors, it has little very, very tiny little doors on it, and it lets air pass through. It lets air pass through when you're going down the road so you don't get stale air and, more importantly, carbon monoxide poisoning. And pretty much all cars have them. Trucks, pretty much, they're all on the back wall here behind the seat, either upright or sideways like that, or in some form or fashion. Most cars have them in the trunk or behind the bumpers. But pretty much all cars have them, and they penetrate the cab. They usually snap in from the outside, like this, from outside to inside. This is the back glass I'm touching here. Usually snaps in. It's got a seal around it. All right, there's it is, and you can see, actually, let me get that thing to focus right there. All right, you can see the seal. It's not even touching it, and that little ridge, just right about that little ridge, there's the seal. I mean, this is my screwdriver's way closer. That little ridge right behind the seal should be inside the cab. That thing's not even on there. So it was never snapped in all the way. Water just goes in there and dumps down behind the back seat, ends up in that channel right there, and goes through the front. Now, the trick is, what's the fix? If I'm really lucky, I'm going to be able to just snap this back in with this screwdriver. If I'm not lucky, then I'm not lucky. I did not hear it snap. Oh, it did snap. I'm pulling on it. Sweet. All right, so we got lucky. That just snapped back into place. And let me check real quick. All right, yep, it snapped back into place. If they did not snap into place, we're going to have to pull the seat out and access it that way. But there you go. This is a brand new Colorado, and this could be a brand new anything, but that thing right there was just flooding the floor. So if you've got any questions or comments, let me know. It's the first one of these I've seen, but honestly, this can happen on pretty much any truck because they all have these cabin vents back here. I've seen it on Dodges. I've seen a lot of Fords, and I've seen a few Chevrolets, and this is the first Colorado in particular, though. So anyway, questions, comments, there you go. Cabin vent leaking.